You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team. Get new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto-renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dragon's Lair podcast in association with the Riverside Sports Bar, the home of live sport and banging burgers in Newport. Now, unfortunately, Gavin can't be with us tonight. He's got a lot on his plate at the moment, hasn't he, Gareth? Bless him. His mum hasn't been very well. He's just got a lot of stuff going on. So we wish him well and hopefully be with us next week. But I'm pleased to say Gareth Leclerc is with me for this one. So it's just the two of us, Gav. How are you?
Yeah, all good. Nice to be back watching the Dragons. Did enjoy the Six Nations, but can't beat watching the Dragons, can you? And yeah, no Gav, no party. So hope Gav's family's doing all right, and looking forward to having him back next week, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start by saying thank you for the comments that we've had in our absence. Rhys Jenkins got in touch. He said, "Guys, I love the pod. I would really love to meet you guys for a pint or even get involved in the pod." He says, "I'm a Caerphilly boy, but I now live in Swansea, and being a Dragon down here is tough, and I can't find many people to talk to or go to the game with." And he says, "Keep going, guys." Well, listen, Rhys, you can come down to Rodney Parade. You can go on the terrace, and you make him feel welcome, Garth, won't you?
You will be more
take him
than
under his wing
welcome on the terrace, mate. Happy to meet up in the pub for a pint before, as usual. And yeah, on the terrace, look for the stand up for the Men of Gwent sign. It's where a few of us congregate. You'd be greatly received. So yeah, definitely come on down, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. That's your offer then, Rhys. Peter Derbyshire got in touch. I like this comment. He says, "I actually follow another team. I won't say," he says, "but this is the best of the Welsh pods by a mile." Oops. Well, look, Peter,
Brilliant.
Thank you for your kind comments. We know when to blow our own trumpets on this podcast, are we, Gav? But he's absolutely right, isn't he? We are the best of the Welsh pods. Just don't tell the others. But yeah, thank you very much, Peter. We do appreciate you listening to us. Who do you support? Don't be shy. Tell us. We don't care. Unless it's Cardiff, then go bug off then.
I was
But
going to say, if
otherwise-
he doesn't want to tell us, it's definitely Cardiff. Ugh.
Yeah, it's got a whiff of Cardiff about it, isn't it?
In
But,
that case, I'm not surprised he listens to us. So I imagine listening to someone drone on about Cardiff all day. Ugh.
Oh, so fucking
Rather
boring.
walk into traffic.
Absolutely. But thank you, Peter. You might not be a Cardiff fan, we don't know, but thank you very much for your support. Right, before we go on to News Desk, I want to give a shout out to Arron Wainwright and Ben Carter for their performances in the Six Nations. Wayno was Wales' player of the match after their win over Italy, and let's be honest, he was Wales' best player in the Six Nations by country mile, wasn't he?
100%.
Absolutely superb. But I'm really pleased with Ben Carter, and I feel quite validated because I've been banging on a lot about him on this pod, and I've been proven right. He's proven a lot of people wrong, a lot of doubters. I mean, me personally, I've never had any doubts about Ben at international level. And I've always said he's Welsh rugby's most underrated and undervalued player. I stick by that comment. All Ben needed was a run of games to prove himself. That's all he ever needed. And hopefully now people outside the Dragons will understand and appreciate what a good player is, because he worked his absolute socks off. And I'm an Adam Beard fan. You know, I do like him a lot. But he was poor and he deserved to lose his place. And Ben grasped his opportunity with both hands. I thought Ben was brilliant. Dare I say it? I don't think we really missed Beard. I don't
Not
think
at
we
all.
missed him. And I can't believe I'm saying, because like I say, I do like Adam Beard. But yeah, well done, Ben. Absolutely well played. And Wayno is Wayno. He's class, isn't he? So
Wainwright's
yeah,
so good. The world class performances are just normal, aren't they? You just think, yeah, it's absolutely just standard for him. He's definitely Wales's player of the tournament and arguably the best number 8 in the Northern Hemisphere at the minute.
yeah, absolutely. And a word for Ben Carter, because I
Oh,
don't know about you, Gav. Like, I'm very biased. I love Ben to bits. You know, I am chairman of the Ben Carter fan club. But that number 5 jersey, you know,
oh,
that's
it
his,
is.
isn't it?
He's absolutely brilliant. I think this pod's been a huge fan of Ben, and I remember harping on about an old game against the Ospreys when the locks on the pitch were Alan Wynne-Jones and Adam Beard for them, and Rowlands and Carter for us, and we beat them at home like we often do. And Ben was the best lock on the pitch, and he's got that in his locker. I think the last year or so he's put on an extra bit of weight, which has come with a bit of age as well, because he broke onto the scene really young for us. He's just been outstanding, and his work, and it's great to see him get the recognition he deserves, because we've seen it for a long time how good he is and
Yes.
how consistent he is, and the leadership qualities, running the line out, and finally other people are taking notice. So yeah, really enjoyed seeing Ben go, and yeah, really proud of the effort from our boys. It was really good to see, and obviously Woodman getting in as well, which was nice, although sadly didn't get game time, but put him in good stead for the future.
No, it's about the experience. You know, he spoke in the week, didn't he, about it was a valuable learning experience.
Yeah,
And he said he
yeah,
knows what it takes now to get to that level. So I think it's been a good experience for Ryan. I personally didn't expect him to get any game time in the Six Nations, but you know, it's all
yeah,
about the experience. His name is in the minds of the Welsh selectors, and he's been involved in camp now. So
exactly.
you know, hopefully going forward, it'll be a matter of time before he gets his Welsh cap.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, well done, boys. Great effort. And I love the Six Nations, by the way. That was my favorite
Oh,
ever Six
awesome.
Nations. Like I loved 2015, and I didn't think that could be beaten. But oh, this was so good this year, Six Nations. Did you enjoy it as much as I
It
did?
was absolutely. I didn't know how much I was going to enjoy it after the first round, um, but yeah,
Yeah,
Wales really stepped up, and much like the Dragons, really started to show spirit and fight, and started to be a team that you could get behind, which is really good. But yeah, the Six Nations in general, absolutely fantastic, and that last day was absolutely brilliant to watch. Wasn't it? It was
yeah.
top draw
That
across the
was
board,
the
and it
soup.
did help that we won. But yeah, it was great.
Yes, I was gonna say that's a super Saturday that really lived up to his billing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
fantastic. So
yeah,
yeah,
loved it.
I had a feeling Wales would win as well. I had a feeling they beat it. You two were quite
Yeah, you
pessimistic,
did
but I
actually.
thought
Yeah, you did say, to be fair.
yeah, I fancied us to beat. I think they had an emotional hangover after beating England, though. That's probably what it
Yeah,
was. But
yeah,
who can blame them? No, I love the Six Nations. So that well done, Wayno and Carts. They were fantastic.
yeah. Well done, boys. Done us proud.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, news desk. Let's start with the bad news then. This is the news we feared. Shea Hope is out for the rest of the season after having surgery on his hamstring. The 23-year-old shared a photo of himself in a hospital bed with his leg in a brace, and he wrote, "Gutting end to my season, but hamstring reattached, feeling positive, ready to get into rehab." Oh, I mean, it goes without saying, Gav, but this is a massive, massive blow, isn't it? So I think losing Rob Hunt and Shea Hope are our biggest blows by a country mile, because the scrums is suffering without Rob Hunt, and we saw that, didn't we, against the Storms?
Did we?
We'll come on to that later. And I think our attack is suffering a little bit without Shea Hope. Yeah, it's really disappointing loss, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he dictates a lot of how we play, how quick he gets the ball away from the ruck, and dictates where and how we want to play. He's been absolutely brilliant. It's been a proper breakout season for Shea Hope.
Yeah.
He's been on the fringes for a year or two before, but he's really shone, taking his chances well, and nailed down that 9 jersey. There's talk of him getting in the Six Nations squad, and there's no one really putting big heat on Thomas Williams at the moment. Shea Hope's in that conversation. It is gutting, but he's got a long career ahead of him. So let's hope, chance for him to do some good conditioning work on the upper body whilst his hamstring's probably a bit sore at the minute, and fly into next season, hopefully. If he can build on this season, he's an international waiting. So it is gutting. And like you said, along with Rob Hunt, Rob's give us the platform to play off, and Shea sort of dictated the playoff. They are two huge, huge losses for us. Gutting.
Yeah. our attack is a lot better when Shea Hope is at 9.
Yeah, really
So much
is.
better. Helps with the tempo, his passing, his kicking, his overall game and distribution is just better for our attack. Yeah, so bad news about Shea. In better news, however, Shane Lewis-Hughes, who did pick up an injury as well in that Benetton game, if you remember, he's made a speedy
Yeah.
recovery from his injury. So he wrote on his Instagram page shortly after the Benetton game that he was injured for a few weeks, but he's back earlier than planned, and he could fly out to South Africa if needed. So that's great news. He's made a speedy recovery. Shane Lewis-Hughes is a key member of
stuff.
our team. He's a good squad player, isn't he? So yeah, pleased about that. Dragons co-captain Angus O'Brien has signed a new contract with the club, which is great news.
Brilliant news.
Yeah, head coach Philo Tiatia said, "We're all delighted that Angus has signed a new contract to us as he's a hugely important and influential figure within our squad. Angus is playing some of his best rugby, that is true, and is continuing to grow as a leader within our squad alongside Ben Carter."
I think that's spot on.
Yeah.
He really has been a leader for us, and I think he is playing his best rugby. He's
I agree.
looked a bit more composed this season. Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic. He really does drive us around the field as well. His boot is it's unrivaled, really, in Welsh rugby, isn't it? It's absolute class. So yeah, great news to see Angus staying.
Yeah.
Love that.
Also, on the last pod, I was a little bit hard on Angus. You know, when we talked about when he missed
Yeah,
he mistouched and he with that penalty. I was a little bit hard on him, I think, listening back. It was still a bad error, and I still think we should have taken the 3 points at that stage. But I listened back, I thought, oh, I was a bit harsh on Angus because he has been brilliant this season. And when we come to do our season review and we pick our, Dragons player of the season, at the moment, I mean, it's looking like Angus, to be honest. Like Angus is a strong shout for my
He is up
Dragons
there,
player
isn't
of the season. He's been really, really good. So Angus said, "I'm delighted to have re-signed and extend my time at my home region. There's no place like Ronnie Parade on a match day." Do you agree with that, Gareth?
very.
I knew you would.
Setting me up there, are you? Yeah, very, very true, Angus. There is nowhere like Rodney Parade on match. I absolutely love it.
And he said that he's looking forward to continuing to play there over the next few years in front of our amazing fans. He's talking about you, he is, Gareth.
He's on about loaf.
But yeah, really good news. Angus has been superb this season, and this led to calls for a Wales call up, which just shows how well he's been performing and how well people are saying, they're recognising how good he's been. So I'd love to see him get a Wales cap. I don't think it's going to happen, if I'm honest.
I think it's the age is against him, isn't it? Now,
yeah, that's the problem.
Building. Yeah,
But on form, he should be in there. Maybe there is a strong argument for Angus to be in the Wales squad on form.
And I don't think anyone offers his kicking game as well, and I don't think we've got that in the back three at the minute for Wales. But yeah, all he can keep doing is playing well for us, and fingers crossed for him.
Yep, agree. Dragons have a new signing, Gareth.
We do.
Yeah, so we spoke about him on the last pod. Tutti Frutti. Tonga international winger Anzelo Tuatavuki. I think that's how you pronounce it. So Dale McLeod, who's worked with Tuatavuki at Hawke's Bay and Tonga, of course. This is what he had to say about him. Anzelo is a physical player on both sides of the ball who possesses good footwork and quick turner speed. He also possesses a big left boot and is a good aerial option in attack and defence. And then Tuatavuki said, "I'm incredibly proud and grateful for the opportunity to join Dragons, a club with a proud history and passionate supporters. I'm looking forward to meeting the fans, pulling on the Dragons jersey for the first time and giving everything to support my teammates every time I take to the field. The URC," he says, "is one of the most competitive leagues in the world." That is true. "So I'm excited for the challenge ahead." So we spoke a little bit about this on the last pod, didn't we? Now it's official. What do you make of this signing, Gav? I know we've seen clips, so we have to take that with a pinch of salt, given our previous poor recruitment, when we've seen these really good clips of players and they've turned out to be absolute flops. But he looks all right, this guy, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And I think it is a position where we need more strength in depth. I think physically he looks like he's going to be an upgrade, and aerially, hopefully, an upgrade. And interesting that he possesses a big left boot, because at the Q&A, Dale said that was something he identified when he first got to the Dragons, is we haven't really got a left-footed kicking option in our back line.
Yeah.
Because I think Dale runs the exits as well. And that just gives our play, gives us a different picture that we can kick from, keeps defenses a bit more honest as well. If we've got that option, I do think we possibly lack that on the wing. So yes, I think it's a really good signing, good option. I think hopefully next year we'll have a good bit of competition. We want to see people like Harry Rees-Weldon come back fit, get some SRC games, and then be pushing as well. So yeah, I think that it's definitely a signing that I'm pleased to see. So welcome to the Dragons. Our Tongan contingent now is looking strong.
We'll have more than the Scarlets at this rate.
Yeah.
But no, he looks a decent player. But like I said, I've been burnt in the past by Dragons recruitment, and I'm not going to be burnt again. So the proof is in the pudding, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, fair. I will judge him myself when he's in a Dragons jersey. But I like the look of him, and he's doing well actually. The Pro D2. And last signing from Pro D2, Levi Douglas, doing all right, isn't he? He's been a good pickup. Maybe we should be looking at the Pro D2 a bit more. I think it's a good league. Certainly. It's a strong competitive league.
Yeah, well, people are pretty happy to see Tom Francis back in a Welsh shirt, and he's been living in Pro D2, so.
And he was brilliant for Wales in the Six Nations.
He was very, very good. Yeah, very good.
Fair play. Oh, what I'd kill to have Tom Francis at Dragons.
Oh, yes.
No happening. No, he's going to Sale, isn't he?
Yeah.
Never mind. Right, Gareth. There was a weird rumor about Tina Stabia this week.
It was.
It was brought to my attention in the various WhatsApp chats that I'm involved in about a post on X from the Dummy Switch podcast. This is what they wrote. Okay. Bulls reportedly after Kerwin Bosch. They approached Tina Stabia and he was willing to pay his own transfer fee, but the Dragons refused. Laughing emoji. I mean, I don't know what the laughing emoji is all about. I mean, the club are well within their rights to turn that down, considering he's under contract. But they're saying that the Bulls approached Tina Stabia and he was willing to pay his own transfer fee to get out to the Dragons. But the club refused, right? So I saw this post and straight away I got a strong whiff of bullshit about it. So I thought, I need to check this out. Because it could have been true. But my suspicion was that it probably wasn't. So I contacted the club for a comment. And fair play, got a very swift response. This is what they said. They said it's not true. I mean, colour me shocked. It's not true. He was approached by the Bulls. That is true. And Blumberg told you that, Gareth, didn't he? When he was
at the Q&A, yeah.
So it's no secret. It is true. The Bulls do want Tina Stabia. And why wouldn't they? Because he's a good player. So he was approached by the Bulls and we said no. No transfer fees were discussed between the clubs. They wanted him, but it was a no-go. Tina, they said, is key for us and he loves the club. So there you go.
Gosh.
Yeah, absolute nonsense. Don't believe everything you read on social media, for God's sake, guys. You know what I mean? If it smells like bullshit, it probably is. But it's always good to get it checked out, isn't it? It's absolutely not true that Tina Stabia offered to buy out his contract.
Yeah,
that's been officially confirmed by the club as well, which is great. I just wanted to put that to bed in case it got any traction, because I did see he was getting a bit of traction on social media. I thought, no, we need to nip this bullshit in the bud now. So, that's why I contacted the club, and that's why I put it on socials as well. So, Gareth, the WRU has set a date for an EGM, Monday, April the 13th, 6 p.m. at the Principality Stadium. So, interestingly, the clubs will be able to attend virtually via Zoom if they can't attend in person. There are 3 motions to be voted on, including a vote of no confidence in WRU Chair Richard Collier-Keywood. Now, here are the key points. For Collier-Keywood to be ousted, over 50% of clubs voting need to back the motion. For the vote to be valid, at least 95 clubs must attend either in person or online. And if every rugby club in Wales were to attend and vote, a further 92 clubs on top of the 50 already known to be back in the EGM will need to vote in favour of ousting Collier-Keywood for it to pass. So it's quite a high threshold, yeah. So it seems that the more clubs that attend, the better the WRU's chances are fending off the motions. I think this is why they allowed them to vote via Zoom.
100%, yeah.
So they know what they're doing. No, they know what they're doing. So there we are then. A date is in place for this EGM. Monday, April 13th, 6 p.m. Any thoughts or comments on that?
Um, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, like most people in Wales, we love our clubs and we love Welsh rugby because we love rugby, not because we like the politics side of it, but we're constantly having to talk about that side of it. I mean, I'd like Collier Keyword to go for a few various reasons, but at the same time, I am nervous of. I don't want to say nervous of plans getting halted because if there was a way to keep four regions, that's great. But I'm also told time and time again, there's no way we can afford to have four teams and fund the pathways. So if somebody has to go, which is horrible to say, I want that to happen sooner rather than later. I don't want this to drag on for another 3 years and be having and have a new board and then they're trying to go through this process again because it does Welsh rugby no good. It's not helping the sponsorship that any of the teams can bring in. It can't be helping recruitment no matter what we hear and retaining players. So I kind of think I just want this EGM to not cause a disruption and plans to go ahead. But at the same time, I say that and it like gives me a pain in my chest because that means I'm saying that I'm happy for a team to get cut when I'm not happy for a team to get cut. It's just I'd rather if it's going to happen, I'd rather it happen sooner rather than later. And I'm a bit nervous of things dragging on, which could be painful.
Yeah.
Probably just a load of waffle that is, to be fair.
No, I get what you mean. I think for me, it's I got sort of mixed feelings about this because, as I've said, I think Collier Keyword has been a lousy chair, and he's been unwilling to compromise with the regions over this new deal. You know, about the wanting full
Yeah,
control. He's been a big barrier by all accounts. I think he's a bit clueless. I don't think he really knows anything about rugby. Like you see him in interviews, and he just waffles. You
yeah,
know, I think he's been a really lousy chair. I'm not sure getting rid of him now, though, is going to change anything. I think all this does is kick the can further down the road, if I'm honest. It'll be more uncertainty, which, as an Ospreys fan, this is probably what you want because it buys them more time, I guess. So I can understand fully why Ospreys fans are hoping for this EGM and it passes. I do understand. I'd probably be the same if I was an Ospreys fan. The thing is, I'm not necessarily convinced it changes anything because what will the WRU do? They'll just bring in another new chair. You know, the board overwhelmingly voted for this, didn't they? So they're
yeah,
probably going to, you know, agree with the plans. It's highly likely. Although then again, it could also force the departure of Abby Tierney and Dave Redding as well. So
yeah.
it could have big repercussions, this EGM. And some of the motions, it reeks a blaze of control as well. I'm not entirely convinced this is being done for the right reasons. It seems like a bit of an attempt to wrestle back a bit of control for the clubs. That's how it's come
Yeah,
across to
that's a
me.
good point actually on the governance. That is luckily those motions need a lot more to pass, don't they? They're the higher threshold ones, but that is a yeah, that's a concern. We don't want to be taking a backward step on governance and handing more control back to the non-professional game. That's not where it should be. And on Collier Key, would you actually make a really good point that he is a barrier to the negotiations with the regions at the moment and not budging on terms when we hear rumours that other people within the WRU and on the board are willing to be more flexible on terms. So yeah, maybe Collier Keyword going would be a good thing for us if we're
But
being selfish.
Dave Redding did actually say on the BBC, we need to compromise. I think he
Yeah, he says a lot of
recognises
things though, doesn't he? To be fair, so
he does, but
yeah,
I thought that was
yeah,
quite interesting for him to come out and say that. I think there is a recognition within the WRU that having full control over the rugby operations is not going to work. It's no go. But they
yeah,
still expect the benefactors to pump in millions so they can't have control of the club. It's absolute nonsense.
yeah. Yeah, that
Crazy.
is nonsense. I mean, well, Reece Blumberg openly said at the Q&A he's not even sure what he's going to be presented by the WIU next, which
Scary, innit? Really
that's
scary,
not a
that.
great place to be for a start, is it? It sort of
No.
shows how the WIU are sort of governing themselves at the minute and how they're running themselves as a business. It doesn't seem overly constructive, does it?
No.
To be
But
in negotiations and not really have a clue what you're going to be getting next from someone. So, yeah.
yeah, so we wait and see what this EGM brings. Um, could have big repercussions. Could
Yeah.
have big repercussions. The problem is if Collier Keyword does come out of this, unscathed, he's in a stronger position than ever before because he can turn around now and say, well, I've got a mandate now from the clubs.
Yeah.
So he'll be in an even stronger position. That's the problem with this. If you oust him and you get what you want, fine. But if you fail, he's in a strong position because he'll just say, I've got this mandate from the clubs now to force change. I've been given a heads up. So it's interesting.
At the EGM then, would it be a case of both parties get to sort of stake their claim and Collie Keywood essentially gets the chance to defend himself before the vote? Is that how it would work?
Oh, they'll have a pre-prepared script and they'll say why
Yeah.
they're forcing this change and everything else. Yeah, of course, that would be for discussion. All the motions would be for discussion. And then the clubs get to vote on it. But I haven't been to one before, but I'm guessing that's how it works. But yeah, it's interesting times ahead.
Yes.
A lot could depend on it. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one, see what that brings. Sorry, just my phone falling off there. Right. Season memberships, they're on sale now. The early bird window ends in June. Have you renewed your ticket yet, Gareth?
Do you know what? I haven't, but I will be getting it done this month. Yeah, 100%. Be taking advantage of that offer. There's no doubt where I'll be next season on the terrace. Love it.
Happy days. The prices are very reasonable. So if you're aged between 17 and 25, you can buy a membership for just 50 quid on the terrace. How good is that?
Oof. That is good. That is cracking value.
That's really good value, isn't it? 50 quid for season for pro
That's
rugby.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're between 17 and 25, then that's a great deal. So the club put out a teaser promo video with a very familiar voice. Mr. Leclerc, yes, we did notice it was your voice on that video. What did you say? Rodney is home and home is family. It's a bit cheesy, but it's a good marketing line. And that'll resonate with some supporters, I'm sure. But yeah, Rodney is home and home is family.
It is home on the terrace. It is. That is my home. And we are a family on the terrace. We've been through some times on that terrace, to be fair, but it's a great place to be at the minute. Long may that continue.
Oh, well done on getting involved. Will we see a clip of you then? Will it be like an interview? Will you be on socials saying how much you love the Dragons and why we should all renew? And
there might be. They might have looked at the video and thought that's not a face for clips, so they might knock it on the head. But we'll see. I'm sure I'm in good company from the names that I know they've interviewed as well. So it might be interesting. Watch this space, I think.
Yeah. The marketing slogan for the new memberships is interesting. Your region, your club, your home. I thought that sounds familiar. It's very similar to Newport RFC's marketing slogan. Your city, your colours, your club.
Oh.
Very
Do they
similar
share
to
the
Newport.
same media team?
I don't think so. But I found that quite interesting. But no, like I said, well done on getting involved. Hopefully we'll hear your voice, maybe see your face in some more promo videos. So yeah, look forward to that. Right, let's look back on what happened on Sunday afternoon then. So Dragons came up against the best team in South Africa, Stormers in Cape Town. And it finished Stormers 29, Dragons 21. So here's the thing. After seeing Cardiff getting battered by the Bulls, Lions ripping Edinburgh to shreds, Sharks decapitating Munster, I was fully prepared to see Dragons getting blown away by the Stormers.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a very, very difficult day because we'd seen the other teams in South Africa take an absolute tune in. And I thought, okay, this is how it's going to go. What actually happened was, despite the fact that our set piece struggled and our scrum was an absolute disaster, we actually saw a very respectable performance and scoreline. And the frustrating part is, we don't have anything to show for our efforts. That's the biggest frustration for me. Gareth, let's be honest about it, right? That was better than expected, wasn't it? Yes, we lost, but the performance, the scoreline, it's very credible, I think.
It was. I'd say it's probably been our best performance in South Africa. We were in. Well, actually, we weren't just in a sniff of taking away 2 bonus points, a 4-try and but we were in the sniff of the game.
Yeah.
Genuinely, we were. I mean, on 43 minutes, just after half time, the Stormers kicked a long range pen. And on 45 minutes, they attempted another pen. Well, that's just unheard of for us playing away in South Africa. Normally, it's just a rout. It shows the fight that we put in. Again, it's a team that you can really get behind. The effort we're putting in, the fight. We played some smart rugby as well. It was a joy to watch. Rio flying down the wing at times. We look good. It's just, set piece. Set piece was the Achilles heel, and the scrum in particular. They seem to target the tight head Coleman. Super Chrissy Coleman was. He had a long day. Yeah,
he had a very, very tough day at the office. Chris Coleman, bless him. Yeah,
he did, and I think the scrum it got the Stormers out of jail quite a few times. Actually, it was causing us a lot of bother and giving them field position, which is really frustrating. But beyond that, we're really good. Seb Davis has put a couple of good performances together now, which is really good to see. The general just doing general things.
Big carries today, wasn't it? Really big carries.
Big carries. Harry Keddy getting us over the gain line, some really big carries. Gutting, obviously, to see Beddle go off early. No one wants to see that to any player, but a young open side getting knocked out is pretty sad to see. So I hope he's okay. But we put in a lot of fights, and Ivan Owen, like he always is, was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
there's just a lot to love about this Dragons team. I thought that was a very, very respectable performance. And to actually finish a game away at the Stormers, who picked a good side, mind, they had a very good side out, to go, gutted that we didn't either pick up points or even sneak it, shows how far we've come this season. So it's, very pleasing. Just devastated to not take a point off that, because I feel like the boys really deserve to come away with something.
Yeah, John Dobson said before the game, I don't know if you watched his pre-match interview on Supersport, he said this is the most experienced team that we've put out ever, he said. Which
really?
That's what he said. It was a very strong side. That was a fully loaded Stormers side.
Yeah, it was very good.
They got what they wanted. They got their bonus point win, but we made them work for it, I think.
We did. And at times, you just can't, you can't restrain someone like Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu for 80 minutes. He will have moments. He's that good. But, we contained them really well. It wasn't a rout. And they knew they were in a game. Those Stormers, I'm sure we've earned some respect. Just want us to back it up now next week against the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the scrums. It was on roller skates, wasn't it? It was an absolute disaster. No scrum, no win. It might be a cliche, but you know what? It is absolutely true. If you don't have a scrum, if you don't have a set piece, you're not going to win. And that scrum was painful to watch. Philo's comments were quite interesting. This is what he had to say about the scrum. He said, "It was a tough ask with our young props, but you've got to taste the water. Sometimes the water is salty, but you get used to it and the intensity and the pressure. If you haven't been exposed, you won't learn. You have to be challenged." So I get what he's saying. Chris Coleman's not a young prop, though. Chris Coleman's been around for a long time. He's played 80-odd games for the club. He's a senior player. He's quite experienced, and he took a tune in at scrum time, it has to be said.
Yeah, with all due respect, Jordan Morris was okay.
He was fine.
A lot of the moments, a lot of the penalties were, you're
Chris's side.
Yeah, they were on the tight head side. It was Chris giving them away. I think at times Morris was under a fair bit of pressure.
Yeah.
But he was holding his own at times as well, where we had a very tough day at the office. It wasn't good to see, and it just takes the momentum out of our game, and it's giving the Stormers easy ins then, isn't it? Which was frustrating. But Frustrated, but I'm almost glad I'm frustrated about this game because you could just be despondent with the game away at the Stormers like we have been in years gone by. So it's nice to be disappointed, but
I like this level of disappointment. What I don't like is the level of disappointment that we saw out in Perpignan,
yeah,
which absolutely stunk to high heaven, against Benetton when we had 70 plus points per on us, against Glasgow. This is a better kind of frustration, though, isn't it? Because
it is.
I never expected Dragons to be in that game. I honestly thought they were going to get an absolute battering, like
Yeah,
Cardiff
same.
got,
Yeah,
like Munster
genuinely.
got, like the Edinburgh got, and it didn't happen. We were under the cosh for large periods of that game, mind, and it could have easily been 40, 50 points. But I thought our defence was very, very good. And what I found
Oh,
interesting was the Supersport commentators kept saying, "Oh, we got the best defense in the league." Apparently, we were ranked first for defense. I'm not sure how that's happened or how it's ranked, but we have got the best defense in the league. And this is something that John Dobson also said as well. That's the first thing he picked out when he talked about our defense. Dale McLeod has done a very, very good job of our defense, hasn't he?
yeah. Dale is becoming a bit of a Dragons hero now. I think after he spoke so well at the Q&A, and yeah, our defense was good. I think our set defense was really good, really tough, especially goal line defense, which that's attitude. That's getting off the line and whacking someone. And as Dale would say, it's about whacking people, and we were. And our scramble D as well was unbelievable. The effort to work back, set, and then get off the line again. And again, that's attitude. And when you've got a team putting in that graft and working that hard, again, you can just get behind them. So I was really, really pleased to watch that today because at times you do think this could be a bit of a tune in today. This is a big ask for the boys, but the way they dug in, loved it. Loved watching that. Really proud of them. Gutted they didn't take the point away, but yeah, the defense, Dale has done a really good job, and Dale and Philo have got to be commended for the sort of the culture and that effort the team are putting in now.
Yeah, especially right at the end when Stormers were pounding away on our try. Like, it would have been very easy to just down tools and give up the ghost. The game was already won. Less Stormers, get it try, the fifth try or whatever. Then you're thinking, oh well, the scoreline looks a bit harsh. But no, I thought our try line defense was very, very good today.
We actually look like a proper team now, don't we? We look
well.
good.
The league table doesn't show it, and we're going to come on to this a bit later.
Oh yes, I looked at that. I was gutted looking at the league table.
Yeah, so the league table doesn't quite show that, but yeah, it was. I thought it was a really good performance. It was a dogged performance, very spirited performance. What else did Philo say? He said I was really happy with the character and staying in the fight. Now, Philo has talked about this all season. He's constantly talking about staying in the fight. This is a theme now of his, and it's quite right. You consistently drummed that message through, staying in the fight. The last passage of play, the one I just mentioned, when we kept him out, was a real Gwent mentality. He's starting to understand it a bit more now, Philo, isn't he? About the Gwent mentality, the Gwent way and stuff. Like, he seems to be really buying into the ethos of the club now. So that's good to hear. He said, it's about staying in it. Stormers had momentum, but we snuffed some things out. We didn't get much of a role today with disallowed tries. It could have been different, he said. And then he said we should have been 14-all at the break or in front, but we weren't because we weren't accurate enough when the opportunities arose. We didn't execute. There were some butchered opportunities. There were 2 attacking lineouts that was butchered. There was that brilliant kick through from Rio. We were started by a Nairin. Rodri gathered it. You thought he was going to go in, and fair play. Sasha Feinberg Montgomery Sulu was an absolute pain in the neck. Brilliant player.
Yeah.
Stopped him. I still think if Shea Hope had that ball, he'd have scored. Because he's quicker than Rodri. I think he would have scored that try, personally.
Rodri's legs seem to have deserted him a little bit slow to the ruck, getting the ball away. And yeah, that one you do think, could we have finished that off? But great bit of play. It was really nice one. And I think there was another one where Owen put a boot down the line as well, didn't it? So the one where Rio grounded the ball, but at the same time, and as Angus rightly said, well, the on-field decision was a try. So, why are you overturning it if it's grounded at the same time? Is it valid enough reason? I don't know.
Yeah, but Brace said he had conclusive evidence that it was simultaneous grounding. That was a killer. That was the absolute killer.
What an effort that was.
I thought Rio was excellent today.
He's been awesome this season, hasn't he?
We are seeing the Rio Dyer that we know and love. I thought he was fantastic. And it was that really unfortunate moment where it was that bounce of the ball and he couldn't gave it. That wasn't his fault. That was just a cruel bounce. It happens.
Oh,
It's one of those
absolutely
things.
nothing against him for that
That was
whatsoever.
that wasn't his fault. It was really cruel bounce, but I thought he was brilliant today. Really, really good.
It just gives the team confidence. When you've got Rio out there beating men and running the way he does at the minute, you think, well, if we can get him the ball, he can do something. And as long as we continue to play brave, which when we've played well this season, we've been brave in how we play.
Yeah.
And if we can continue to be brave, get Rio on the ball. Oh, he's been fantastic. Rio, sign that contract, mate. We don't want you going anywhere. You're loved by the Dragons fans.
Too right, yes.
I really want to see Rio re-sign with us because he's a brilliant player. Someone I definitely want to be watching for the next few years.
He should have been in the Six Nations squad ahead of Gabriel
100%.
Hamer-Webb, who was pretty average, wasn't he, against Scotland?
Ridiculous, that isn't it? Ridiculous.
Yeah,
if he continues as he's going, though, he'll get back in.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think he's on fire at the minute. He was brilliant. Yeah. You mentioned him earlier, Rodri Williams. I don't want to sound like a broken record, and I don't want to be sounding like I got a grudge. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or single him out all the time. But I'm sorry to say he is a shadow of the player that he was last season. I thought he was too slow today. I'm sorry to say. That knock on in the goal line area from the penalty, that was inexcusable for someone of Rodri's class and experience. I don't understand it. I do not understand why Rodri has dropped off so much. And it has to be said as well, when Niall Armstrong came on for him in the 50th minute, notice how much better our attack looked as well.
Yeah.
It's a real shame to see Rodri in this form, this rut. And he is in a rut. And it's getting to the point now where I'm not even sure. I don't think the Dragons would do this because they do rely on his experience a lot.
Yeah.
And he is a key member of the squad, the leadership group. But it's getting to the point now where I'm not sure Rodri should be even in the match day 23.
Yeah, I agree. There was one, I think we were messaging about it, and now we know we had to get the ball out of the ruck because Rodri was too slow.
He was slow.
And I think it's been highlighted by how good Shea Hope's been. And Shea Hope just gets to a ruck, flings the ball, and he really drives our tempo. And you do notice that big drop now with Rodri. And he's been such a good player for the Dragons.
Brilliant.
He's been so good, but it does look like the legs have gone a little bit. It'd be a brave call for the Dragons to drop him, but I think I would prefer to see Niall or even Morgan Lloyd, who I think is very promising, have a go at 9, and just, especially on the hard grounds in South Africa, I feel like we need pace in our game, and we look good when we're brave and when we're playing at pace. So I'd like to see us make that brave call, but I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Yeah, it was too slow again today. He was too slow going to the ruck to get the ball out. If your scrum is going backwards, put the ball in and fucking get it out. Do you know what I mean? It was too slow. And I hate saying it about Rodri because I like him a lot. Like I say, he was my Dragons player of the season last year. But I can't ignore the drop off. It's sad to see. Good to see Niall Armstrong back though.
Yes.
And the tempo went up massively. I thought he was very good today off the bench, Niall Armstrong.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Because I think he came on around the same sort of time. Brody and all came on. Good to see D back as well.
Yes, he got involved quite early on when he was scrapping.
He was up for it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And I think because our hookers have been so good this season, I think it's easy to forget how good a player Elliot D is. As Warren Gatlin says, the streets won't forget Elliot D. He's an absolutely class player. So I think really good to see him back. But I think when we made the changes, Niall Armstrong got the pace going, and people like Brody bring that aggression as well. And we really took the game to them. You know, we've watched it so many times where Dragons make changes in the second half away from home and we fall off a cliff, but we were really taking the game to them. I was like, God, we're onto something here. Again, not to repeat myself, gutted we didn't take a point away from it, but can't fault that effort from the boys. They're going to get a scalp soon away from home, and when they do, I hope they are on the smash, because I certainly will be. That'll be class.
But they're getting closer and closer.
They are getting close.
They could have beaten Cardiff at the Ellis Park. They should have beaten Ospreys, but then discipline and tiredness crept in. Munster as well. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
I would love to see an away win this season, though. because it's coming up. It's 4 years now, and you don't want it dragging on. Like we've got some. I've spoken about this on pods before, but Dragons, unfortunately, they do have very poor unwanted records attached to their name.
We do, yes.
And we need to get rid of these monkeys. And the away form in the league is a massive monkey off the back. It needs to be got rid of. But we're getting closer. I have a hot take. Well, actually, I don't even know if it is a hot take. So I put this to you, right? If Sasha Feinberg Montgomery wasn't playing for the Stormers, Dragons win that game. Because he was so influential in everything he did. He prevented 2 Dragons tries, don't forget. There was the tackle on Rodri, we mentioned, and then there was the simultaneous grounding, which denied Rio.
Which was unbelievable from both players.
He is absolute class. And if he wasn't playing, dare I say it, I think Dragons might have won. He was that good. He's that influential.
You know what? I think you're right. He is absolute. He's the bollocks, isn't he? He's so good. Well, I think
very talented.
I messaged in the group before the game saying, like, I hope when the boys have brought his sister over and shacks up with Feinberg and, you know, falls in love and has to come live in Wales and signs for us, because he is some player. He's a special talent in there, and he's going to have a good time behind a big South African pack for the rest of his career. So, yeah, I think I think you're right. He was the difference, wasn't he?
He was.
Was he man of the match? I'm guessing he was.
I think so. Yeah. No, it was Dion Fury, wasn't it? It was man of the match. Yeah, he's 39 now, I think, as well.
Dear me.
Yeah. I thought he was fantastic, and he's a very, very talented player.
Yeah.
And he was a pest today. He was an absolute pest. And if he wasn't playing, who knows? Could have been a
Makes
different
it
result.
look a bit easy, doesn't he? He's just...
The best players do.
Yeah.
The best players always do. But also, shout out to Harry Bedell. So he got stretchered off the field. He took a blow to the head. But the Dragons have posted on the socials he's up and about, which is very, very positive. So I think, I don't know how long Harry will be out, maybe a couple of weeks now. Concussion protocols and all this, I'm not sure. But good news is he's okay, because that was a nasty blow to the... He was tackling low, wasn't it? And it was just it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be critical, you could say poor technique.
His head was in front of the knees on there, but
it's just one of those things. But it's a real shame. You know, you don't want to see players going off like that. And Bedell's been brilliant for us this season. So we wish him all the best. Some stats for you then. So Dragons had 43% possession, 44% territory. The set piece, we talked about that. It was a struggle, wasn't it?
It was.
87% line-out success, which is higher than I thought. The scrum success, again, it's higher than I thought. 71 they've got it. That's the URC. I mean, I thought our scrum was absolutely destroyed today. Obliterated.
Yeah. I mean, if that stat probably doesn't show how many pens they won off their own ball.
Yeah.
And how many times did we get the ball out, but, you know, we are literally on roller skates and it's being dug out. It was mullered. It wasn't a platform, was it? But
it also shows how much we're missing Robert Hunt now, doesn't it? The importance of a really good quality tight end. I'm not saying Chris isn't, good enough, but Rob Hunt is the strongest scrummager. It's simple as that. He's the club's best scrummager. And I was always worried that the scrum would suffer without him, and I think we're seeing that. It wasn't great against Benetton, was it? Let's be honest.
No.
And they really struggled in Cape Town. When you're coming up against big packs, you've got to have a functioning, stable scrum. If you haven't, then it's very, very hard to compete.
Yeah, and the talk of, it's that time of year, who we're going to sign, and we get excited. Another tight head, please, because it just shows you're right. If you don't have a scrum, thing is with Rob Hunt, he's our best scrummager. He's also our best tight head in the loose as well.
Yeah, he's very good.
If we could have another one of him, because sadly, I think the drop off. Well, we haven't really seen enough of Dylan Lewis to judge this season, but
he's too busy podcasting with Alex Cuthbert, isn't he? Promoting his clothing brand. It'd be good to see him get other games.
Yes, it would. Yeah.
Because he offers experience as well, but he's not necessarily a strong scrummager. But
he's still got 50 odd caps for Wales. I don't think he's the best scrummager, but he offers more around the park. Because again, he's a turnover threat, and
yes,
he is better in that area. So he does offer something.
Yeah, we could really do with Dylan Lewis right now.
Yeah.
We could really do with that. That's not a sentence I thought they'd be saying, mind, a year or two ago. But yeah, we
Dear
really
me.
do need Dylan Lewis back. A number of players stood for the Dragons. You mentioned some of them. Ryan Woodman won 3 turnovers,
Oof.
more than any other player. He was good today, Ryan Woodman.
He was very good. Yeah. He's always good, and he is international class. He's got it.
Yeah. We've spoken about how good Rio was. So was Jared Rosser. I thought he had a very good game.
He did actually.
He beat more defenders than anyone else, including Stormers players. He beat 4 defenders today.
Oh, nice. Fair
That's
play.
more than any other Stormers player.
He was pretty busy. Again, what frustrates me with our wingers, I think Jared was beating players in midfield with a lot of bodies in front of him. We're not really giving him that one-on-one chance down the wing, which we still need to be creating more. Our attack does need to create a little bit more. But yeah, I thought he was busy. He always works hard. Jared's one of those full tilt players, and I like Jared.
Yeah. Another player I thought was excellent was Harry Keddy.
Oh.
So this was Harry Keddy's 139th appearance for the Dragons. And I thought he put in a hell of a shift. He was the game's top tackler with 19 tackles, and he also made the most carries for his team with 12. I thought Keddy was everywhere today.
Yeah,
it was great to see him
brilliant. There was a period where he carried, got it, and the ball then shifted to the right. He got up, and then he was on the reload to carry again. You're like, we can't just keep giving him the ball, but he wants it. He's one of those players who gets the bit between his teeth and really sort of drives us forward. He's been one of those players that's deserved more out of the Dragons because he's always performed, and he's been in the side that's maybe not got the win. So it's good to see us now playing better, and he's a big part of that.
Yeah, and another shout out to me, Ron, you mentioned it. I thought Seb Davis was really good. Took his try well.
Yeah.
And Arron Owen, brilliant. That inside pass to Rio. He's so good at those inside passes.
Yeah, right at the line, wasn't it?
Again, he's a strong contender for my Dragons player this season. I think Arron has been absolutely outstanding. I thought Fatulipaia did well. He's been out for a little while, and he's come back. Looks a little bit chunkier than he normally does, but fair play, he did well. He didn't fall for that dummy pass, though. Did you see that? But they attempted that dummy pass and he smashed him straight out.
Yeah,
it's like, yes, he was not falling for that one. Fair play, he's a smart guy. But that was good. So
gives us a bit of power, doesn't he? Both sides of the ball, which is good. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. So we can conclude then from that performance that we're very happy with it. We've shown a lot of fight, a lot of spirit. Disappointed that we didn't get a bonus point. We really should have done. I think that's the least that we deserved. I'm not saying we deserved to win the game. I think Stormers were the better team. They did overpower us, particularly at the scrum, which we expected. Although I didn't expect it to be that bad. I gotta be honest. But overall, I think this was a very encouraging performance. I think it was the best performance by a team in South Africa, like a visiting team in South Africa this weekend, because they've all taken a thumping. Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Munster. Yeah. Now, of course, there is context because it's coming off the back of Six Nations, and some squads haven't got their best players available. I get that, but that went much better than I expected. Yes, it's still another loss. Of course, it is. We have to recognise that, but we were never ever going to win this game. And yet we could have done. We actually, if we had executed, like Philo said, and if we had a scrum, and if Sasha Fane, Big Bongoma Zulu weren't playing, who knows? We could have pulled off an almighty upset. But you know what? We wasn't blown away. And it wasn't 40, 50 points like I thought it was going to be. We was always in the fight, even when we was on the back foot. And that is something to hang your hat on.
Exactly. And you just think where we've come from, this time last season, we get smashed.
Oh, it'd be 50, 60 points easy, wouldn't it? Yeah. This time last season.
So it's really good to see. So where we've come from, it's a vast improvement. And like we said, it's something we can get behind, something we just need to build on it now.
Yeah, 6-day turnaround though to Lions, which is tough.
Yeah, but we should have been pretty fresh going into this as well, mind, shouldn't we? In reality. So I'm hoping it's not going to have the huge bearing.
It's the conditions, isn't it? The altitude and all this. So it does make it very difficult, I think, doing a 6-day turnaround South Africa. But we'll come on to that later. Because I think there definitely will be some changes, I think, for the Lions game.
Yeah.
So we'll debate that. Any further thoughts or comments on this match before we move on, Gareth?
No, all good.
Good stuff. Okay, so just a reminder, if you enjoy the pod and you like what you're hearing, please leave us a nice review. 5 stars on Apple or Spotify. They'll get you a shout out, we promise. And if you watch this on YouTube, like the video, please. It does help us a lot. Like the video and have a look at the pop-up shop at the bottom of the screen. If you click on that, you'll see some merchandise for sale. We got t-shirts, hoodies, mugs. So if you fancy getting your hands on any of that, then just click the link on the video. It would be much appreciated. Now, because Gavin's not with us this week, there's no Gwent Rugby Roundup. I just haven't had time to do it, and it's Gavin's baby, so I tend not to touch it. However, I will read out some results, so think of this as a mini Gwent Rugby Roundup. So if we start in the Super Rugby Cymru, there was a Gwent derby between Ebbw and Newport up in Eugene Cross Park, and it finished Ebbw 17, Newport 44. I did not see that scoreline coming. That's a big win for the Black and Ambers against the league leaders. And Newport now win the SRC Challenger Shield. Do you know Newport are holding 3 pieces of silverware now? So league, SRC Cup, and now the Challenger Shield. Which, given the start of the season, the wretched start where they lost, what was it, their first 5-6 games? They had a wretched start this season, Newport did, didn't they? They are doing really, really well. And it's great to see. Yeah, Gav won't be happy with that, obviously, but that's a big win. I haven't seen anything of the game. I haven't seen any highlights, but it does seem discipline was an issue for the Steelmen. There was a yellow card for Ebbw scrum half Rory Harries, and then they had a red card shown to centre Ethan Phillips. Doesn't really help things, does it? And Joe Franchi took a knock and went to hospital as well. But I understand he's on the mend now. I saw something from friend of the pod, Rob Reese, about he's doing okay, so that's good to hear as well. But yeah, disappointing result for the Steelmen and a very good one for the Black and Ambers. Pontypool, their disappointing season continues. What on earth is going on at Pontypool? They got thumped at home 20-52 to Cardiff. Very disappointing result. There were 7 Dragons boys in that Pontypool team as well, which is quite worrying. That's quite worrying. They're having a lot of Dragons players and they're having a terrible season. Very disappointing result for Pooler, who are propping up the table now. Although, to be fair, Cardiff are in very good form. I think they've won 6 games on the bounce now. So they're hitting form at the right time. They're a good team, and they Cardiff at this level. So in terms of the table, Ebbw remain top. They're on 71 points. So they're still in a strong position, in fairness, Ebbw. They're 9 points ahead now with second place Cardiff. Newport are in 4th. Then you got Pontypool, sadly, rock bottom on 19 points. So that's very disappointing for Pooler. Like I said, I don't know what's gone wrong there, but they're having a very disappointing season. In the Celtic Challenge semi-final, Gwalior Lightning unfortunately lost to Clovers 35-29 at the Dexcom Stadium. Clovers will now face Wolfhounds in the final after they beat Brithion Thunder 36-10, so that's disappointing. It would be nice to have an all-Welsh final in that one, or even to see Gwalior Lightning make the final, but unfortunately, nope, we're not going to get that. Couple of results that caught my eye in WRU Championship East. Like I said, I'm not going to read out all the results, I'm just looking at the ones that caught my eye. Bedwas beating Abertillery 96-19. So that's you listen to the Rap, don't we? This is part of the Rap Network, of course. Regular listeners will know that Dan from Rap, that's his team, that's the team he coaches. He's made his excuses. He said that they rested players, they weren't targeting it. Well, clearly not, because they've got 96 points per on them. But it's a battering. There's no doubt about it. But it's a tough step up, in fairness. My former club, NSD, they had a tune-in as well. They lost 71-12 away to Glamorgan Wanderers, which isn't much of a surprise, to be honest. It's just a difference in quality, really. They're struggling as well, the D's, unfortunately. But those 2 results caught my eye. Also, I caught some grassroots rugby on Saturday, Gareth. I went to Lanwyn High School to watch a proper old-school Newport derby between, wait for this, Hartridge and Betis.
Oh, I flinched you just saying the names.
And yes, it was as rough as it sounds. It was a feisty game. It really was. It won't surprise you to know this, but it was a feisty game. There were a couple of scraps going on. We did get a couple of punch-ups, including Hartridge fighting their own players. They were actually fighting amongst themselves, which I haven't seen on a rugby field before. Like, I've seen players have arguments and disagreements, but no. Yeah, a couple of Hartridge boys were actually scrapping it out on the field, which was quite funny. So the score finished Hartridge 14, Betis 39. Well-deserved win for Betis. I think they were 22-0 up at half-time. They overpowered Hartridge, which is mad to say, because Hartridge, as you know, they're a very physical team, aren't they?
Yeah, I've had a few shoe-ins off them, so yeah.
Oh yeah, they're hardest nails to Hartridge lot. But in fairness, it was much better second half from Hartridge, but they did concede some soft tries and they did butcher a number of opportunities, unfortunately. But like I said, much better second half, and yeah, Betis was a better team, so well played to Betis. I want to give a shout out now, if I may, to a friend of the family. So John Kavanagh. John has played for Hartridge for a number of years now, and after the game, he shaved his head to raise money for two local causes. So he's raising money for Spencer Boys Juniors Football Club, and he's raising money for Knights Girls Rugby Club. And so far, John has raised over 1,500 quid. So, yeah, great effort, John. Well done, mate. He braved the shave. The amount of hair that come off his head was unreal. You should have seen it. It was like we were shearing a sheep. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And I know his Mrs. Stacey's not so keen, but you know what? John looks better with a shaved head. I'm going to say it, John. You look better with a shaved head, mate. It suits you. It really does suit you. But fair play, he's raised a few quid there for two local
good stuff.
community teams. So well done, John. And he had a good game as well. He's a good scrummager, John, and he made some big carries. So yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out there because he's done a good thing. And like I said, I think the shaved head suits him. So yeah, well done, John. Right, got some updates for you regarding the Dragons official supporters club. So the Scarlets trip, they say our second bus to West Wales is filling up fast. They have just 23 matchday packages remaining. That's unusual, mind, for the Dragons supporters club to put on two buses. Normally it's just one, so it shows
after the demand after the Ospreys game, yeah.
Yeah, there's good demand there. So this includes your return coach travel and match ticket for the final regular URC game of the season. Let's get this bus full and give a certain legendary player the massive send-off they deserve. They'll hold about Wayno, wouldn't they? It'd be Wayno. So. It will. It'd be Wayno's last game for the club.
Oh, don't. I think that hurts a little bit.
You might have to come along to this one, Gareth.
Yeah, maybe.
If you want to book it, you got to visit the DOSC website and use the drop-down box to secure your spot. There's an end-of-season event on May the 8th. So they said after the incredible success of our Six Nations Super Saturday, they said the free curry and poppadoms went down the treat. Yes, things always taste nicer when they're free, don't they? We're doing it all over again, they say. Join us on May the 8th to recreate that amazing atmosphere. £15 per person. They say bookings for this event are not via the website. Please check other social media posts for specific booking instructions. And then they talk about the All-Stars. So the All-Stars are back in action after a narrow defeat away to Worcester. The All-Stars are back in action this weekend. Location, Ebbw The date, this Saturday, kick-off 2 p.m. Come along and show your support. All are welcome. And then they ask, can you wish our very own Christian Hyde's guide dog a long and happy retirement? Yes, happy retirement. I think the dog's name is Rossi, if I remember correctly. I might have got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Rossi. Happy retirement. There we go. Right. What are we going to do now? I tell you what, let's... right, before we move on to the Lions, let's answer this question that was put to us. Because I said to you earlier, we got a question to answer. Harry Nelson got in touch. Thank you for getting in touch, Harry. So this is what he's asking, Gareth, right? Would love to hear you guys do a league prediction from post Six Nations. 6 games to go, 5 now, and a third of this league left, right?
Ooh.
So I went back and I listened to our season preview pod. You know, the one we did with Ryan Price. Because I couldn't, well, I knew my prediction, but I wanted to hear what everyone else's. So I couldn't quite remember all our predictions. So me and Gavin said Dragons will finish 15th, which is where we are now. Can you remember where you said the Dragons would finish?
13th?
Yes, that's correct. You said 13th. And then our guest Ryan said 14th. So... do you think the Dragons will finish in 13th now? Or where do you think we're going to finish?
I'm looking at the table live now. I haven't thought about this.
I've sprung this on you. I didn't tell you about it.
Do you know what though? Two of the teams now, so it's Zebra, Dragons, then Scarlets in 14th, Edinburgh in 13th. We play all three of those teams around us.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to beat Edinburgh at home. We've got to beat Zebra away. Yeah, why not? I'll stick to our guns. We can get to 13th because I believe that we're gonna, not to jump ahead, but beat the Lions, beat Zebra, beat Edinburgh. We'll be clear of the Scarlets by then on the last game and hopefully go and trounce them lot as well.
Let's do the double over the Turks.
Whoa, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Smash them with Ronnie Parade. Let's smash them with Park Scarlets. I would love that.
So yeah, 13th,
we're very balanced on this podcast, aren't we? We're very balanced. This is why so many other listeners of other clubs listen to us, because we're just very balanced with our parts in it all. So there was an article that Chris Kerwin, remember Chris Kerwin? Used to be at the.
Hang on. Are you sticking with your prediction?
I'm going to come on to.
I'm
going to come to this now. So, Chris Kerwin, friend of the pod, used to work for the Argus. He wrote an article on the BBC Sports website about what each Welsh region has left to play for, and there was a. Have you read it?
Yes. Yeah.
So there was a section about the Dragons and Scarlets, and the headline was, "Who will avoid the Welsh wooden spoon?" Now, I didn't realise there was such a thing as a Welsh wooden spoon, but okay, whatever. Chris talks about it being an encouraging campaign for the Dragons, especially after how terrible last season was. But he also says this, and I quote, "The Dragons' win column is still disappointing, with just 2 bonus point successes against Connacht and Scarlets, but they have drawn 3 fixtures that could have been won with late kicks. The clear target," he says, "is to avoid being Wales's worst side for the first time since 2020. I think that's a very fair point to make, and both things can be true at the same time. Yes, we have shown massive improvement in our performances in particular, but 2 wins, it's not great, is it? And we're in the bottom 2 now, so, you know, we're still a bottom 2 team with 2 wins.
Yeah,
but we have improved as well. So, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit. You're like, somebody on the outside might look at the league team and go, "Well, lads, you're still a bottom 2 team, and you've only won 2 games. So what's the fuss about?" But there's context to it.
Yeah, and we've had 2 wins in Europe as well, and the 3 draws. I think we needed a win to give us confidence, and also, whilst I love being part of the Terrace and the noise we make, you know, the Terrace had lost a bit of confidence because of the last couple of seasons. It's back now, and from the off, we're on it. But at the beginning of the season, you know, were we getting the team over the line with that extra percent? Probably not. We're now, I feel like if we could replay those games from the beginning of the season, I think we go and win them because we've got more confidence as a side. So it doesn't tell the full story. We've made, I would actually say, big strides this season, really big strides this season, despite the league table. And I'm confident we will pick up a few more wins and finish 13th. Granted, it's still not pretty viewing to look at it and see us in 15th at the moment. But yeah, those 3 draws really didn't help us today.
No, and I think this is the problem. I think when we look back on the season, when we do our season review, we are really going to rue those 3 draws.
Yeah.
Because you look back at each one of them. The Sharks, that should have been a win. If only, you know, Rodri had passed back to Tinas, set up a drop goal. The Ospreys, we should have done the double over them. Okay, we wasn't the best team when we played them at Rodney. We was better than them at Bridgend, but we still lost. But at Rodney Parade, we was, you know, Ospreys were the better team than us, but we stuck in the fight. But then De Beer misses those kicks. You know, we could have easily beaten Ospreys. And against Bellator, I thought we got away with one a little bit. Like I said before, I know a lot of people are disappointed and think we should have won, but I actually thought that was a fair result.
Yeah.
But can you imagine now, had we won those games, we would have pulled well ahead of the Scarlets and we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's really going to hurt us at the end of the season, those 3 draws.
Well, if we had won 2 out of those 3 draws, we would now be in 13th ahead of Edinburgh and the Scarlets. So we'd only need 2 of the 3.
Yeah. But now, But now Scarlets are 1 point ahead of us. And they were always going to beat Zebra by a bonus point. And they
Yeah.
rushed back their Welsh internationals because they're desperate.
Yeah.
They were desperate, so they rushed back. I don't blame them. I would have done the same. Chris also writes this, though, in his column. He said, Dragons have been the lowest Welsh side in 17 of 22 seasons. I mean, that's pretty damning. Tells the
It's not great.
story. It's not great, but, there's context around that, about us having the lowest budget and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to have, have context with that, with the fund and everything. He says, Scarlets have only finished bottom Welsh region once back in 2010. And who was the coach on that occasion? Nigel Davis. Nigel Davis, who is now Scarlet's interim director of rugby.
Brilliant.
Will history repeat itself?
I hope so.
It's an interesting fact, though, isn't it?
It is an interesting one. Yeah. It'd be a shame, wouldn't it? Because, everyone loves the Scarlets.
Yeah.
What a nice bunch.
In terms of other predictions, well, first of all, let me just say, yes, I think my prediction is I think we'll stay 15th.
Oh, what?
I think that's where we'll stay. I do. I'm sorry, but I do.
Really?
Yeah, I think we'll finish 15th.
Do you know what? No, 13th.
I think we stay 15th, and I think the Scarlets will finish above us again. Unfortunately, that's my prediction. Hope I'm wrong. Hope so. But in terms of other predictions, I do think Cardiff will finish in the top 8. Ospreys, that Benetton result, mind, that's a real kick in the teeth for them. I had Ospreys making the top 8 as well, but after that defeat in Benetton, they didn't even get a bonus point. That could be very costly for them. They can't afford any more slip-ups now. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Ospreys did sneak their way into the top 8, but I think that Benetton result has done a lot of damage. And they put out a very good team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't think there's any excuses from the Ospreys. They put out a very capable team. And I know going away to Benetton is tough, but that's a bad result for them, personally, I think.
They've got winnable games left, but yeah, they're slightly adrift of the playoffs now, aren't they?
Yeah. Moriarty got sent off as well.
Yeah.
Dragons legend.
He is a
good old
legend.
legend. Yeah. Love Moriarty. My URC winners prediction is going to be one of Glasgow, Leinster, or Stormers. And I have to be honest, I am leaning towards Glasgow at the minute because I think they're in very, very good form and they've played some very good rugby. I think they're going to be very difficult to stop. If they get home semi-finals, I don't know how it's going to work, but if they do, it's a bloody tough place to go, Scotstoun, for any club in the league. I think that's a very tough ask. But Glasgow looking very, very good.
They've got, I'm just having a look now, they've got to go away to the Lions and Stormers before the end of the season. I think the Stormers might have a better run in than them to try and get, it's all going to be on who gets those home games, isn't it? But yeah, I think I'd have to agree. At the minute, Glasgow are leading the way, aren't they? But South African teams in South Africa are so tough. Funny that neither of us probably predicting Leinster, but you still can't write them off, can you?
Oh, like I said, I think it's going to be one of Glasgow, Leinster, or Stormers for me. But at the moment, I'm leaning towards Glasgow.
Yeah. Ulster up in third.
They've had a very good season. They had a disappointing result against Connacht on the weekend, but they got a lot of injuries now, and I think that's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
They've got a long injury list now.
I think I'd agree with you, though. I think Cardiff will make it as well in the top 8. I know they've got a tough run in, but they've still got winnable games. They've got the Scarlets and the Ospreys to play. They could win both of them.
In terms of us and the Scarlets and this battle to avoid the Welsh wooden spoon, as per that BBC article, I'm going to read you the remaining games now of both teams. And I think Dragons have got a better run in. So this is who we've got left, okay? Lions away.
That's a win.
Do you know what? It's actually, after that performance against the Stormers, it gives you a bit of hope now. It gives you a bit of hope. We'll come on to it later. Bulls home. Zebra away.
Win.
Edinburgh home.
Win.
Scarlets away.
Win.
Okay. This is Scarlets remaining URC fixtures. They got Leinster away,
Lose.
Cardiff home,
Oh
Bulls
God,
home.
could they both lose that?
Yeah, fortunately not. Bulls, they got the Bulls at home. Then they got Ospreys away, and then they got us at home. I think we've got better running than the Scarlets, but I still think the Scarlets will finish above us because I can see them beating Cardiff because they do have a good record against
They
Cardiff.
do,
They,
yeah.
they,
Fair
they've
play, they
got
do.
they've got Cardiff's number, the Scarlets,
Yeah.
and they're at home. They've beaten the Bulls at Park of Scarlets before, so if the Bulls turn up and they're not on it, hopefully they will be on it. Dragons, that was our last away win in the league, was at Park of Scarlets, April 2022.
I was there. It was a hell of a long time ago.
Yeah. So when you look at the remaining fixtures, Dragons have got slightly better running. Well, I think they have got better running, but can they take
Yeah.
advantage of it? That's the question. So we'll wait and see. So you think we will finish above the Scarlets? And
Yeah, I think the way we have got some hard games. I don't think we shouldn't get despondent about losing games like today. And
oh
we've
no,
got
no,
we've got a few tough games coming up. Like we've got, another game in South Africa now. Then we've got Stade Francais away, and then we've got the Bulls home.
yeah,
That is a tough run of games. And
yes,
whilst I think we can win this weekend coming, and we can win other games, I'm not going to lose my head over losses there. But I think the other games are definitely winnable, provided we get a bit more luck on the injury front, because we're
yeah.
starting to suffer a little bit, aren't we?
Our injury list isn't as bad as previous seasons, and it's
No,
certainly
it's
not as
not.
bad when you compare it to clubs like Ulster, Munster, Connacht. Now have got a very lengthy
Yeah,
injury list as well. There are clubs in a far worse position than us, although granted, I would argue they got slightly stronger squad depth. You make a good point though. We shouldn't dwell on defeats in South Africa, right? Because let's be honest, it's highly unlikely we're going to win those games. There are far more important and winnable games coming up. And those last three away games in the URC, Zebra away, Edinburgh home, Scarlets away. Those are key.
yeah.
And Dragons can win all those games. Those are three very winnable games. We're not going to beat the Bulls at home. We're not. That's not being negative. We're just not. They're too powerful. And we've seen how our scrum goes, right? But if we avoid any more injuries, Zebra, Edinburgh, Scarlets are very winnable games. Those three games are key for me.
Yeah,
So
100%.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's an interesting battle, isn't it? Like I said, I wish we'd pulled further ahead of the Scarlets so we didn't have this conversation because it would be nice not to
Yeah.
finish bottom Welsh region yet again. But yeah, we'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Right. So next up, we are playing the Lions, or the correct title, because they got a new sponsor now, Gareth. They are the Fidelity Secure Drive Lions. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Flipping heck. That's not great, is it?
Yeah. It was easier when they were the Emirates Lions, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Dear me. That's not the best. That's not the best name I've ever heard for a rugby team.
Not at all. So, Lions, mentioned earlier, they thumped Edinburgh, 54 points to 17.
Yeah.
Lions in full flow are an absolute joy to watch. They are a very, very good attacking side. Their offloading game is immense. I watched some of that game before I went out to watch Hartridge, and oh, it's great to watch when it's not your team on the receiving end, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, like they were scoring tries, length of the field. Like they were tore Edinburgh to absolute shred. They couldn't cope with them. They just could not live with them.
They've done that to us as well before, haven't they?
Yes, they did score. They scored a try for their own 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely. The last game, I remember that because Nick Webb was on the podcast from the BBC. He commentated on the game for Radio Wales, so I had him on as a guest, and it was grim. Our scrum got battered that day as well. Our
course
scrum
it
got
is.
absolute tuning. Yeah, it did. So yeah, we're in for another tough game. But here's the question: Philo's got a decision to make now, isn't he? Because it's a 6-day turnaround. We know there's going to be changes. If you're Philo, do you get Arron Wainwright and Ben Carter on a plane to South Africa and get them involved in this and go for the win? Or do you save them for the last 16 Challenge Cup tie against Stade Francais? What would you do?
I think league is important like we've just talked about the league position. Points do matter. Any point we can get matters. I would want Ben and Wayno flying out and having them involved. They are top class international players, and I think they could be the difference between us getting the win on the weekend. And I think if we could have them in the squad, I'm relatively confident we can go and win that game. So yeah, I think we should fly them out. I think it could be huge for us. After today's performance, imagine then Arron, Wainwright and Ben Carter walking through the door and adding to that squad. I think that's a great boost.
Because I post this question on X, and there's a lot of people saying, nope, save him for Stefan, say, go for the Challenge Cup. It's more important than the league. But I actually think, I saw someone say the league is the bread and butter, and they're right.
It is.
The league is the bread and butter. And I want to finish above the Scarlets. I make no secret of that. I do. I want us to not be the worst Welsh team again. Because I think if we do that, I think that's an achievable target. And I think that'll be a big boost for us, actually. We're not going to make the playoffs, of course we're not, but let's not be the worst in Wales all the time, That hasn't happened since 2020, So for me, the league is more important. And I can understand people say, yeah, save them for Challenge Cup. I don't know how it works. Would we be at home if we beat Stefan? Say probably not. I think we'd probably just be on the road, wouldn't we, for the rest of the tournament? I don't really know.
I'm sure someone told me we'd be away again, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. But I don't know. I don't know why I do. I know it's a cop-out answer, but I honestly don't know.
I think, I think get them in. It's a huge game. If we could get something from South Africa, gets the not being the South African team off our back, it gets the away form monkey off our back as well. Then we've got an 8-day turnaround to the Stard game. So they've got time to recover. And then we have got a little bit of a longer break until the Bulls home. We play Stard on Sunday the 5th, and we don't play the Bulls until Friday the 17th. So I don't think we're going to burn them out. I know Wayno especially had a big workload in the Six Nations, but it doesn't mean we've got to go batter him in training. Just freshen him up, get him back in the environment, and just let him go. Let him go Saturday.
I don't see why Ben Carter couldn't be involved because he didn't start all the games, did he? So I think he could. Yeah. I wouldn't be against seeing him. It would be good to know if we did play both of them, like Wayno got injured. Do you know what I mean? There's that risk, isn't there?
It would, but that's you have that risk every game, don't we? With stuff, it's this weekend coming isn't a Mickey Mouse game that we should be throwing away. We should be targeting this now off the back of today.
Do you feel there'll be a change in mindset and mentality then going into this game after that performance against the Stormers?
I really hope so. And I think really the way we performed today, that mindset's probably already happened. It looked like we were confident enough to take the game to the Stormers today. We didn't accept defeat today. So I think we've got that shift and we could take that forward now against the Lions, who look, the Lions are a very good team, but they're not the Stormers. The Stormers are a better team than the Lions. And if we can add Wayno and Carter in, no reason why we can't go and take something from there. And that would be absolutely huge for us. I think our confidence would rocket from there.
So you're saying you want them to South Africa and you want them played against the Lions. You chuck them straight
Yeah,
in.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, we've spent a long time talking about the league position and points. I think it's important. And I genuinely think we're good enough to go and take something from this game now.
I mean, when you put it like that, I think, yeah, why not? It's amazing, isn't it, how a performance, even though we haven't won, it suddenly changes the thinking and mindset going into the Lions.
Yeah.
Because I was watching,
right.
I was watching our Lions game. I was watching them cut Edinburgh to shreds and thinking, oh shit, and now we got to play this slot now after we get battered by the Stormers. Now we haven't been battered by the Stormers. We've been a very competitive performance, and now suddenly I'm thinking, this feels like a winnable game. But it's the hope that kills you. That's the pod motto. We all think of this, and then the Lions will probably put 50 points on us. But you know what I mean.
If we were smashed today, I probably would say just leave them at home. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But that's if you want to win games, you need to pick your best players, and you need to go in there with that mentality of and we need to realize it is important. Too often in the past, we discarded away games as not being important. They are important. I want to pick up points. This is why we're 15th in the league. We haven't picked up enough away from home as well. So yeah, come on, boys, we can do it. I think we've got it in us to go and get that win, and I genuinely think that will be absolutely massive. I'm going to watch it at home. I don't know what I'll do if we get a win in South Africa.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? That would be a huge monkey off the back.
It would be, yeah, colossal. Yeah.
And let us know in the comment section on YouTube what Dragons should do. Should they play Wayno and Carts, or should we rest them for stuff on say? Let us know on our socials as well. Get in touch. What would you do? Because it's an interesting debate. Because some people are saying, yeah, play him, and others are saying, no, save him. Save him for Europe.
Everyone who's bought tickets to Paris definitely wants them saved, don't they?
Yeah. Right then, before we wrap up, let's give our predictions. I'm feeling a lot more hopeful now after watching that Stormers game, but like I said, it's hope that kills you with our lot. Go on then, Gareth, give us your prediction.
Dragons by 8.
Oh.
Dragons by 8. We're going to go bonus point win. We're coming in with 5 points.
Well,
I can feel it. I can feel it. I've just got that. I've got that feeling. I've not been on the beers either, so.
Are you absolutely sure?
I'm sure. I'm locking in 8th. I'm doubling down on finishing 13th in the league or higher, but at least 13th. Yeah, come on.
Because we got to think about there's going to be changes because of a 6-day turnaround. So who do you think might come in for this one?
Some changes might be good, mate.
Well, I think we've taken out a squad of 30, haven't we?
Yeah.
To South Africa. So I'm thinking maybe someone like Matthew Screech comes in. Finney Anisi was on the bench. Does he start?
Yeah. I think whoever you pick up.
Is
I don't think
De
Beer is out there, is he? I think he's definitely staying home, is he, or not?
Oh, yeah, he might.
I think De Beer is out for the tour. I do think I like Angus at 15. It is a tough one then at who you pick at 10, and without Tinas.
I wouldn't like to see Kai Evans at 10, I'll be honest. But then you'd have to, it's a huge gamble, and he went okay up in Glasgow, but you're looking at Jack Lloyd.
Yeah, and that's again, you think you're giving a young lad a chance away in Glasgow and then away at the Lions. You're like, probably not really how you want to ease a youngster into the 10 seat. Because they are big asks, so maybe you do stick with Angus at 10. But yeah, I'd bring Anisi in. I'd make a change at 9 and have Armstrong.
I think I would, yeah.
If possible, I'd have Carter and Wainwright. But if Shane Lewis-Hughes is out there as well, obviously Thomas Young to start at 7.
What about Rodrigo Martinez? Because I didn't see his name on the injury list. Are they saving him? I think they're saving certain players for this Lions game.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I think he's actually gone about his business quite well at the back end of the season. So yeah, he could come in. We haven't got any options really at tight head, have we? It'd be a massive ask for one of the youngsters to step in for Chris.
There is one thing we could do. We could have. They won't do this, the Dragons. And it would show a lack of faith in Chris after a very tough game. But what they could do is you could have Wyn Jones covering tight head. Because he can play at tight head. You could have Wyn Jones at tight head and then Chris on the bench. And then bring in Martinez to start. And have like Morris on the bench. They won't do that, the Dragons. I don't think they will. But that is one option. You could have. I don't like the idea of props, changing positions.
No.
Like, Brock Harris could do it seamlessly, couldn't he? And to be fair, Lloyd Fairbrother as well. He could play on both sides of the scrum. It's not an easy thing to do, but that is one option where you could have Wyn Jones at tight head.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
they won't do it, but I'm just saying that is one option
if you're the Lions, you look at that game, you just go, right, well, we'll just absolutely smash the Dragons scrum.
But this is what I'm worried about. That's the scrum after today. Like, as much as I am pleased with that performance, that scrum, that's going to give me nightmares tonight. It was awful.
Yeah. That is tough. And Anisi as well. Anisi coming in, like you mentioned, would be good. I think he's been one of our best backs. But where does he fit in? Do you pop him on the wing?
Yep.
where he started. And now that we do play a bit more expansive, hopefully he does get more ball than he did when he was there at the beginning of the season. But he's been great in the centre. But Pay's got the power, which I think we definitely need as well. So there's good options. Like you said, Screech in the second row, was happy with how the second rows went, but that could freshen it up. I'd probably start Wyn Jones this week.
Yeah. You could have Harry Ackerman and give an Arron a bit of a breather. I think the thing is
you want to rest these players, but I feel like an Arron Owen's so integral to everything we do.
That's the problem. Yeah. That's it. But the problem is when we're on 6-day tournaments, Philo has tend to make mass changes, isn't he? Like he'll make 9-10 changes. So I think there's going to be a high turnover of players.
I think I'd like to know as well, like does the 6-day turnaround have as big an impact on them being fresh to play, or does it just mean training? You don't do as much in training. Like you can recover for a 6-day turnaround, surely, but is it just we won't get as much done in the week? It's got to be a lighter load, or what?
That is a question for a coach to answer.
Yeah,
if we had a coach on you, whether it be Dale McLeod, Matt O'Brien, or any of the Dragons coaches, Sam Hobbs, that's a question to put to them. How does 6-day turnaround affect your prep?
I'll make a note of that, and hopefully we'll get one on.
Yeah, that's a good question, but you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah,
because I'm not a coach. I'm not on the profile.
Because I think if we can just give some of these players a light week and essentially spend it on tour, and we on a jolly.
I would be very interested though to see the team, because I think there's going to be a lot of changes. And then afterwards, you might think, "Oh, I'm not sure about if we can win this now." And
can you imagine if we can get Waino back in? We pick a back row: Woodman, Waino, and Keddy. Wow, we are flying into them.
Well, we know Bedell won't be involved either.
No,
Thomas Young, though, he did come on early. He played a lot of that game. He did all right, Thomas Young, as well.
Do you know what? Thomas Young's had a good game because Harry Bedell's been amazing, and Thomas Young's he has struggled with injuries this season, hasn't he? Let's be honest. Yeah. But when he's played, he's been a mixed bag. But I actually thought he was good today. Yeah. I liked him. So, yeah, wouldn't be against him starting.
Okay. My prediction is Lions by 13. I'm terrified of the Lions. They scare me. I find the Lions more daunting than if we played Bulls or Sharks or Stormers, because they're just so terrifying with ball in hand, and they can score from absolutely anywhere. That's what scares me. And like, if your discipline is off, which it was for the first half of the Dragons, we did suffer from poor discipline. Yeah. They will punish you. They will punish you for it. If you kick loosely, they'll run it back and they will punish you for it. And I'm just worried about our scrum as well. I can't get that scrum out of my head. What I saw today, I just can't. Like I said, it'll give me nightmares. It was
really bad.
And, I don't want to put it all on Chris Coleman. I think that the collective scrum as a whole, oh, man. You can't win games when the scrum's going backwards like that. And I think that's got to be addressed in camp this week. Something's got to be done about that. And the tight head prop position, I knew we'd suffer when Hunt was gone. But, yeah, it's really worrying. Yeah. Really, really worrying. Please come back soon, Dylan Lewis.
Yeah.
Stop pissing about with Cuthbert on podcasts and get your calf sorted and come into camp, please. We need you. Okay, yeah, so I got in for the Lions by 30. I think it'd be another good performance, but like I said, the Lions terrify me. They're so good. They're an absolute joy to watch. So, yeah, fingers crossed, though. I'm a lot more positive after watching that Stormers performance. So, we can but hope.
It's a big ask, isn't it?
It's a massive ask. It's never easy to win in South Africa, is it? It's a ridiculously hard league. I know so many. There's a lot of criticism around the URC, and I get it. It is a ridiculous league. It is silly that you have to go to South Africa or Italy. It is a mishmash. I get it. And when you actually explain to people who aren't rugby fans, they don't get it. They don't understand why we're playing South Africa. Honestly, you try explaining it to someone who doesn't follow rugby, and you want to see the look on their face. They just don't understand this league. And it is messy. It's very, very messy. And the officiating is shite. Let's be honest. This league is really let down by poor officiating. But the quality of this league is right up there. I think this is the best, the most competitive league
It's unbelievable.
When I say best, I mean like the quality of the teams.
Yeah.
The English Prem might be a better product, a more entertaining product, but I think the URC teams, they're all competitive. But it's such a tough league. You got to go to some really hard places to win games, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
It's such a tough league. So if
There's
you get
no
a win in South
gimmies
Africa,
at all, is
fair
there?
play. No.
Absolutely no gimmies.
It used to be us at one point.
I was
but
going to say, people would be fed up that we're getting better now. They're like, oh shit, there's a gimme gone.
It is, honestly. Whatever people want to say about the URC, you cannot deny it is not a competitive league, because it really, really is. It's ultra competitive, and you have to go on some very, very difficult away trips.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there. I thought it'd be a bit shorter tonight with just the two of us. It hasn't turned out that way at all, has it? But we've been off for a while, so we had a lot to talk about. But yeah, Gareth, thank you as always. Hopefully Gareth will be back. Gavin, sorry, will be back. He's got a lot on his plate at the moment, bless him. So hopefully he'll be back soon. Thank you to our friends at Riverside Sports Bar for their continued support of the podcast. And thank you all for listening. I will speak to you again very soon. Up the dragons.
Up the dragons.
Up the dragons.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.